Do you ever feel stuck, knowing what you need to do but just can't seem to get started? Procrastination is holding you back, but we're going to show you how to break free and take control of your time. Right, let's talk about procrastination. We've all been there, haven't we? That moment when we know we have something important to do, but we just can't seem to get started. That thing we need to do, but we just don't. We stare at our to-do list, watch the clock, and feel the weight of the task looming over us. We find a million other things to do instead: tidying, scrolling, organizing. Suddenly, everything else seems more interesting or urgent. We even become fascinated by the cat, who, let's be honest, has never been this interesting before. It's important to understand why we do this, because once we know the reasons, we can start to tackle them. Understanding our mind is the first step. Often we procrastinate because we're scared, not of the task itself, but of failing at it. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. What if we're not good enough? What if we can't meet our own or others' expectations? What if it's a disaster? These thoughts can stop us in our tracks before we even begin. We tell ourselves we'll do it later when we're more in the mood. But let's be honest, that mood rarely comes. We keep pushing it off. Sometimes it's not fear, but the pursuit of perfection that trips us up. We want everything to be just right. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But in reality, perfection is an illusion. Newsflash, there's no such thing. Perfection is unattainable, and waiting for it only delays progress. Perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. It's a way to avoid starting because we're afraid of not being perfect. The truth is, most of the time we're simply overwhelmed. The sheer size of the task can make it seem impossible. The task seems too big, too daunting. We don't know where to start, so we don't start at all. We don't know where to start, so we don't start at all. Sound familiar? So how do we conquer this procrastination monster? Firstly, remember that everyone feels this way sometimes. You are not alone. Secondly, let's reframe our thinking. Instead of focusing on the fear of failure, let's focus on the joy of accomplishment. Imagine how good it will feel to finally tick that task off your list. Visualize that feeling of relief, of pride. Hold on to that feeling and use it as motivation. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Done is better than perfect, remember? Break that overwhelming task down into smaller, more manageable chunks. Suddenly, it doesn't seem so scary anymore, does it? And if you're struggling with motivation, try setting yourself small rewards. Finish that chapter? Have a cuppa and a biscuit? Completed that workout? Enjoy your favorite healthy snack? Small incentives can make a big difference. One of the best ways to combat procrastination is the Pomodoro technique. It's incredibly simple but surprisingly effective. Set a timer for 25 minutes and work on your task without distractions. When the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. Repeat this cycle 4 times, then take a longer break. This method works because it breaks down work into manageable intervals, making it less daunting. The regular breaks also prevent burnout and keep you refreshed. Another great technique is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to do it immediately. Don't put it off, don't add it to your to-do list, just get it done. This could be something as small as replying to an email or putting your dishes in the dishwasher. The beauty of this rule is that it stops procrastination in its tracks. It prevents those small tasks from piling up and becoming overwhelming. Plus, ticking off even the smallest items can give you a sense of accomplishment and momentum. Tiny steps, big rewards. Now let's talk about habit stacking. This technique is all about linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, let's say you want to start meditating every day, but you struggle to find the time. Think about a habit you already have, like brushing your teeth. After you brush your teeth each morning, meditate for 5 minutes. By linking the new habit to an existing one, you create a trigger that reminds you to do it. The key to habit stacking is to make the new habit small and achievable at first. Once it becomes ingrained, you can gradually increase the time or intensity. Remember, small changes made consistently lead to big results. These techniques may seem simple, even obvious, but don't underestimate their power. The key is to find what works for you and stick with it. Don't be afraid to experiment and adjust your approach as needed. making it a habit. Remember, overcoming procrastination is not about becoming a productivity machine. It's about taking control of your time and your life. It's about reducing stress and increasing your sense of accomplishment. It's about freeing yourself from the guilt and overwhelm of procrastination so you can focus on the things that truly matter to you. Start small, be kind to yourself, and celebrate your successes along the way. You've got this. Now go forth and conquer that to-do list. Or, maybe just tackle one small task. Every little bit helps. You've got this. See? It's not about becoming some sort of superhuman taskmaster. It's about understanding why we put things off and finding ways to outsmart our own brains a bit. We all have those moments where even putting on pants feels like a victory. The important thing is to keep trying. Don't beat yourself up if you have a day where you achieve nothing more than changing from pajamas into sweatpants. Tomorrow's another day, as they say. The more you practice these techniques, the easier it becomes to overcome procrastination. It's like learning to ride a bike. It takes a bit of practice and maybe a few scrapes along the way, but eventually it becomes second nature. So, there you have it. A few simple techniques to help you get started. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a stack of scripts to read, right after I finish this biscuit. Breaking tasks into manageable steps. We've touched on the importance of breaking down tasks, but let's dive a bit deeper into why this method is so effective. Imagine standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at the peak. The journey to the top seems endless and overwhelming. The sheer size of it can be paralyzing, making you feel like giving up before you even start. But what if, instead of focusing on the summit, you concentrated on just reaching the first checkpoint? This shift in focus can make a world of difference. Suddenly, the climb doesn't seem so daunting. Each small step forward brings you closer to your goal. This is exactly how breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps works. It transforms a massive, intimidating project into a series of achievable actions. By dividing a large project into bite-sized pieces, you reduce overwhelm and make each step feel achievable. This method not only makes the task more manageable, but also helps maintain your motivation. It's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. Each small bite brings you closer to finishing the meal. When you focus on one small task at a time, you give yourself the chance to experience small wins along the way. These victories, no matter how minor, are crucial for maintaining momentum. These small victories build momentum and keep you motivated to tackle the next step. Each completed task is a step closer to your ultimate goal. Plus, ticking things off your to-do list feels incredibly satisfying. It provides a sense of accomplishment and progress. So the next time you're faced with a big project, don't let it intimidate you. Remember, every large task can be broken down into smaller, more manageable parts. Break it down into smaller tasks and take it one step at a time. Focus on the immediate task at hand rather than the entire project. Before you know it, you'll be at the top of that mountain, looking down at how far you've come. The journey will seem less daunting in hindsight. Remember, it's not about the size of the task, but the size of your determination to tackle it. You've got this. Your determination and persistence are what truly matter. And now let's put this into practice with a quick exercise. This will help solidify the concept and make it a part of your routine. Take a moment to think of one big task you've been putting off. It could be anything from a work project to a personal goal. Write it down and then break it into at least 3 smaller, manageable steps. Ready? Go! Great job! You've just taken the first step towards completing your task. Keep this list handy and tackle each step one by one. This approach will help you stay organized and focused. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make. Each small step adds up to significant progress over time. Until next time, keep climbing one step at a time. You've got this. Remember, every step forward is a step closer to your goal. Building momentum with small wins. Now that you've learned how to break tasks into manageable steps, let's talk about the power of small victories. These small victories are the key to maintaining motivation and staying on track. Every time you complete one of those smaller tasks, you're not just moving closer to your goal, you're building momentum. This momentum is crucial for long-term success. Imagine pushing a heavy boulder. It seems daunting at first, doesn't it? At first it barely moves, but with each push it starts to roll faster and faster. This is the essence of building momentum. That's exactly how small wins work. They act as the initial pushes that get the boulder moving. They give you the confidence and energy to tackle bigger tasks. Start with something easy. The easier the task, the quicker you can achieve that first win. Maybe it's organizing just one drawer instead of the entire room. This small act can make a big difference. Or writing a single paragraph instead of the whole report. Breaking it down makes it less overwhelming. When you complete these small tasks, take a moment to celebrate. Yes, celebrate. It's important to acknowledge your progress. Give yourself a pat on the back and feel proud of what you've accomplished. Check it off your list and relish in the satisfaction of seeing your progress. Feel the satisfaction of progress. Each small win is a step forward. These small victories create a positive feedback loop. The more you achieve, the more motivated you become. They boost your morale and make you feel more capable, which in turn makes you more likely to tackle the next task with enthusiasm. This newfound confidence propels you forward, making each subsequent task feel more manageable. So don't underestimate the power of small wins. They are the foundation upon which larger successes are built. They are the building blocks of your success. Start small, celebrate often, and recognize each step as a victory. Watch as your momentum carries you to bigger and better achievements. Each small step adds up. Remember, every big journey is made up of small steps. Keep pushing that boulder, and don't lose sight of your progress. Soon you'll find it rolling effortlessly. You've got this. Your hard work will pay off. Until next time, keep celebrating those small wins and building that unstoppable momentum. You've got this. Keep going and never underestimate the power of small victories. Are you tired of putting things off and feeling stuck? It's time to take action. Hit subscribe to stay motivated with more productivity and personal growth tips. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful and share it with a friend who might need a little push. Together, we can beat procrastination.